Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Another morning episode of Late Night Baltimore, but that's how we do here. I'm going to try to look more at the camera today. Let's see. Last night, the team that beat us and knocked us out of the playoffs got demolished by the Houston team, and our own expert analyst in football, Fez himself, called the game completely, said that that's what would happen. And by damn, that's what happened. That's why we got the best football mind in the country. And he will be coming on soon. Maybe not today, very soon for more in-depth stuff, especially addressing all these coaching stuff. Now, but what we are going to do is something we never do. We are going to show snipe uh, the local Pittsburgh sports and see what they're saying about their team and how they did. All right. Let's see. Who's their big podcast? We want the live podcast. Live podcast. Let's see who's doing a live podcast. All right, that streamed 9 hours ago. 9 hours. I guess they all updated today. Okay, well. You ain't driving. No. Okay, is this something that will help us? Nah, this is old stuff. We want what their local news is doing. All right, I guess we're just gonna have to do their reaction. Wait, here's a live. This is live. Okay, this is live. This is the 93.7 The Fan live. I believe this is Pittsburgh. I hope. They look like they're Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's see. Let's turn on the sound for this. All right. Can you hear that? We're going to try to share the screen. I hope this is a Pittsburgh team.
Fan special. ZeroResPGH.com.
Hey guys, Donnie Football here. Does
Ooh,
this sound
there's
familiar?
us
Open up
watching the
social
game.
media, every
Watching
third
them.
video is somebody promising instant weight loss, magic shake, 5-minute abs, a pill that works while you sleep.
This is
I've
live.
seen it
This
all.
better be
And
Pittsburgh.
surprise,
Yeah, it is.
no magic, just a lighter wallet. What I
Okay.
wanted was a lighter waistline.
They are
Changed it
talking
to
now
stop feeling
about their dumb
uncomfortable
team.
in my own skin. And yeah, I'll be honest. I watch guys like Chris
And
Muller
we
and Paul
are
Alexander
better than
drop
them.
weight with a Wake
Call us
180,
live if
but
you
they had
want.
about 35
While we
pounds
watch
to lose,
them
and I
live
had nearly 50.
at
That sounds like a different game.
410-921.
I was concerned.
9076.
Then I
I don't
started
know what
Awaken
their
180,
number
and
is.
just like them, the pounds started
Let's knock
to pour
over.
off.
Let's knock out
After
their
2
chat.
weeks, I was
Okay.
already down 17 pounds. It's been 2 weeks into the new
We're having
year.
a commercial.
What results are you seeing?
All right, well, they have a
Listen,
commercial.
if I could succeed with Awaken 180, any of you can do it
We'll
too.
talk about the
Stop
game.
scrolling. Stop thinking you can't do it. Just make the
The
call.
Steelers
To
lost. I
Awaken
think the
180,
final score was 30-6.
844-346-1800, or
It was
online at
7-6 at halftime.
awaken180weightloss.com.
And
Hello, this is Lester Botkin, Chief Investment Officer of Botkin Family
Mr.
Wealth Management. One of my favorite
Mr.
clients, I'll call her Sue, has a work ethic that blows me away. She continues
Miss,
to love what she does, and she's
Aaron
been
Rodgers
incredibly
was
successful
horrible.
at earning and saving. Recently, Sue shared with me
All
how
right, we're
proud
gonna
she
show
is
our
of her
comments
daughter,
on
who is
stage.
doing
Yep.
a beautiful job
Well,
raising
this is
two
really gonna
young
be
children,
everything. We
but how
got
she worries about them
3
because
things
it's so
going
tough
on.
for young people to afford to buy a home. Her daughter's growing family could use more space, but moving up just isn't in their budget. I asked Sue if
All right,
she'd
well,
like to explore the impact of gifting her
let's
daughter
turn them
money now to
we'll
get the
turn
bigger
their
house
sound
that she
down
needed. Could I really do that, she asked? We
until
determined that taking a withdrawal now for a substantial...
we'll turn their sound down until we get our own. Let's see. NFL news update. Let's see if there's been any coach hirings or anything while we wait for them to get out of commercial. Latest NFL football news: Chargers Khalil Mack pondering NFL future heading into free agency. Let's see. Colin Bullock of Texans say everybody knows we're the best defense. Aaron Rodgers and Mike Tomlin had a tough press conference. Let's see if these guys are back here. Nope, they're still in. Wait.
Financial down payment on a new house would likely have no impact on her income strategy in retirement.
Back outside the 10 as Mark says his first
Right. This
yard
so we don't want no copyright strikes. No copyright talk. So let's get ourselves through.
His first
Okay, here they
100-yard
come
game
back.
for Woody Marks,
There they
who
are.
averaged
That's what they're
3.6
saying.
yards a carry this year and had 700 rushing yards, 19 carries, a $112, 1 touchdown. His long run on the season was 23 yards.
They
He had
are
a 20-yarder in this game.
depressed fellows.
And they made Nick Chubb not look like the half Chubb, but look like the full Chubb. 10 carries, 48 yards, 4.8 yards per carry. Absolutely pathetic run defense. Here's my guess as to what's going to happen, Pat. They're not going to fire Tomlin, obviously. Terrell Austin has coached his last game as a defensive coordinator of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Doran tweeted this out. We love you, Doran.
How do you know they're not going to fire Tom?
Raheem Morris will be the Steelers' next defensive coordinator. And I would probably bet my house on that it'll be Raheem Morris.
Yeah, it would make sense. I mean,
yeah.
I love TA.
Good man.
Good guy, pick guy, obviously. But,
yeah,
you can't.
That don't win you no Super Bowls. And being a good guy.
Listen, football, it can be complimentary in a good way, and it can be complimentary in a bad way. And when you're not effective offensively, when you're not efficient on offense, it can bleed into defense. And I thought that's the attrition component that is referred to a lot. That clearly had a part of the result last night, late in the game.
Oh, that touchdown run we just played.
But it doesn't explain the early parts of the game where, if not for a couple fluky turnovers, Houston's incomplete. They got two hands on the steering wheel of the football game, and largely on the back of certainly their defense, but also their ability with a patchwork offensive line and two okay backs to run the football at will.
Oh no,
that can't happen.
The other team.
That cannot happen. And you're fully healthy. There's no Derek Harmon absence where your rush defense is worse. Your rookies aren't rookies anymore. Cam Hayward's playing at an all-pro level.
Blame it on the defense.
And you're getting pushed around. I mean, you're just getting pushed around. And I think, that's – then you have to play 5D linemen. You have to throw, Harrison in there. Like, it's just not –
You had no offense either. Why aren't you talking about
an
that?
average run offense.
That's right. And there have been games this year where they've been elite at stopping the run and stopping some of the best backs in the NFL. But when they've done it, they've allocated resources to do it. They can't straight up stop the run with 7 guys in the box.
Yep. Houston's the most simple defense in football. 3 different looks, essentially. And guess what?
Simple.
They went up front.
But
their guys play fast. They understand what they're doing. They're almost never giving up huge plays because they're in position.
Yep.
Every throw last night was contested, with the exception of DK streaking from left to right, and he dropped it. Every throw down the field was contested because
they're
seeing the advantage of being able to rush for and stop the run with a 2-shell.
You talk about not getting a return on your investment. The Steelers, according to overthecap.com, are paying their defense $155 million. The Texans, they spend money on D. $134 million. You could have fooled me, which was the higher paid defense, though.
Oh.
The Texans defense, I've seen enough. By far the best in the NFL. And I'm not absolving the Steelers offense, but that's what the Steelers were supposed to look like. And they're a far cry from that. I'll tell you what the Steelers should do with Mike Tomlin coming up in about 10 minutes. I think it's pretty obvious, and I think both the organization and the coach could save face. We'll save that, though, and we'll go to Mike in Wilkinsburg, who's been waiting patiently on hold. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, man. How you guys doing?
Oh, terrible.
Man, no, see, the problem is, and this is why I called up, because I want to give advice to everybody in the city, all right? Being able to predict the future is a gift. It's not a curse. All right? This time last year, I knew I'd be sitting here like this time this year. So you know what I did? When I saw the Texans were only getting 3.5 points, man, I went all in on that because I knew we were going to get blown out. I've seen it too many times. Man, I feel great, man. I'm going to take my kids to Disney World this week.
Please do, Mike. Enjoy yourself. You ever been to Disney World, Pat?
No, I got hit on that last night actually.
Really?
In the car, yeah, driving home with the Montgomery, Nate and Sam. We had basketball practice, and Nate's taking the family to Disney World on Thursday.
Wow.
And Sam was talking about, oh, they have this boardwalk and all this stuff. And Trey goes, Dad, why haven't we go to Disney World? I've been avoiding that question since the day he was born.
My daughter brought it up probably a month or so ago. Mommy, when are we going to Disney World? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to have to sell
These guys
my
suck.
car, half my house,
All right.
rent it out to some hobo.
Good
I
talking
want to be
about
Mike
Disney
from
World.
Wilkinsburg. What a positive guy.
No, you know, you don't really want to bet against your team. Usually you don't. So the Steelers sucked. Let's look at the stats. It was 30-6 the final score. Let's see. Shroud was 21 of 32, 250 yards, a touchdown and interception. Not spectacular, but in that game, it's pretty excellent. Rodgers was 17 for 33, 146 yards and an interception. Not good at all. 146 yards on 33 throws. That's bad. Joe Quavius Marks, 19 carries, 112 yards and a touchdown. For Pittsburgh, Jalen Warren, 12 carries and 43 yards. Awful. Receiving, Christian Kirk had 8 catches for 144 yards for Houston and a touchdown. Outstanding. And DK Metcalf, his big return, he had 2 catches for 42 yards. Now Houston scored 23 points in the fourth quarter. A field goal, a touchdown. Let's see. Rodgers fumbled. A touchdown on a return of a fumble. And then another touchdown later. So there were 2 touchdowns by Houston on defense. Rodgers was intercepted at the 50, and that was returned for a touchdown. And Rodgers' attempt to tackle Bullock was very pathetic. Houston had 408 yards total to 175 for Pittsburgh. So it was really a total blowout. And Pittsburgh's the team that beat us, but boy, they sure looked awful in that game. All right, let's look at the latest news again, see if there's any coaching hires. Nothing up, nothing happening yet this morning. Now we are going to do another show tonight. We're going to see what they're talking about on the fan, our own fan, 105.7. Let's see what they're saying.
/radio. That's ETHOS.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your...
All right, they're not, we're sharing with them, but they are not back from commercial yet. Everybody's taking a lot of commercials, except us. We do commercials too, though. I am advertising for Baltimore, the carpet company. Look at this outstanding hoodie that I'm wearing. This is one of the great hoodies ever made. The product of immense quality. Also, what else? Purell hand wash. It's great. Best there is. Let's see. What else? Stamps. We got stamps. And anyway, so Harbaugh's top choices, it seems like, are Miami and the Giants are fighting. Now, I don't know. Miami, people might say, because they already have a general manager, they might think Miami is hurt by that, but Miami might just shell out enough money that John Harbaugh won't be able to refuse. So I don't think John Harbaugh would go to the Falcons. I don't think he would go to Cleveland. I don't think he would go to the Raiders. He wouldn't go to any of those teams. It really does come down to the Dolphins or the Giants, I believe. Now, another wild card. Somebody said something about that LaFleur might leave Green Bay so that they can hire Harbaugh, the Packers, and Harbaugh might take that. But then Miami would get LaFleur. All right, they're back here. Let's go turn up the sound, see what these guys. It's Rob Long and the commissioner.
Revealed that he'd been playing a lot of the season with an injured shoulder. I thought, remember, I suggested that the core injury was still bothering him because that's your power. Mm-hmm. But I knew there was something wrong with Gunner.
There was something wrong with Gunner.
You don't do the things that he does, and all of a sudden the power numbers aren't there. I thought he had a phenomenal season, though, because he showed he's capable of doing so much more. Last year, to me, with the power not being what you expected to be, he showed that he's more of a complete ball player.
Come on, guys.
But many people are wondering now, okay, well, if you had the injury last year, why are you playing in the World Baseball Classic this year? Joe, I'm guessing that you're one of those people.
I don't know. You're talking about baseball this early. You should still be talking about football. Our rivals lost last night in a blowout. Our coach, we don't have an NFL coach. And our own coach who just left us does not have a job quite yet. And they're talking about the Orioles. You can talk about the Orioles when we have an NFL coach. Okay, now since we've been looking at other media, let's look at WNST, Nasty Nestor station. See what he's saying. See what they're saying. Naya. Let's see. Looks like Nasty Nestor is showing a lot of great anger for Steve Bisciotti with the list of questions. Let's see. Nasty Nestor talks about how he got thrown out of the media, thrown out of any media access, although there's only one other person who works for the station, Luke Jones, and he has complete media access. So it's not really, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I don't know, but Nasty Nestor sure is mad about it. Let's look at that, can we? We're just looking around the Baltimore media this morning and see what they got going on. Man, their website sucks, man. Let's see. They got podcasts. Do they have any live? Nah. We're the live Baltimore sports. Look, they talking about the first coaching or Ravens have the first coaching search in 18 years. And they also are trying to talk about baseball. Okay. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's see, what are we seeing up here on our screen? We want to see WNST on our screen. It's early. I'm tired. I can't see. Let's see what they got going on. See, this is them. I don't know about their site. Advertising for scratch off. Nasty Nestor, Baltimore Positive is quite angry at Steve Bisciotti. What are you going to do to fix the real broken culture of the Baltimore Ravens, he asks. Closing the loop, it's hard to tuck away the kick of karma and rub and tug of being wide wrong on John Harbaugh. Okay. And let's see if he has questions he wants to ask. Let's see. No, they kind of make you have to watch the whole thing, and his big beef with Steve Bisciotti is that Steve Bisciotti doesn't give enough press conferences, but I'm of a different mind, and I really love an owner who you don't see. He has other people who can answer questions, like important questions. Anyway, like and subscribe. That's all we got for you right now. Just wanted to give an update and see what was happening, and wanted to give Pittsburgh a little of the business. They beat us, but they got their asses kicked like never before. I can't believe Aaron Rodgers is considering coming back. And it's really, actually, it's kind of hard to see that Tomlin would want to come back to Pittsburgh. I mean, come on, they've been losers for a bunch of years now. They've lost six straight playoff games. I don't know. Sounds like Ravens. But what did we do? We got rid of our coach. Are they going to? Or are they just going to continue? We just don't know. All right, everybody. That's all we got. Like and subscribe, watch, tell your friends. We'll come back with more in-depth football on all the playoffs, what our predictions, and then we'll be shifting back into politics this week as well, because what's going on right here in our own country with ICE murdering a person, a lady, and with what's going on with the United States invading another country for a reason that nobody really knows, and kidnapping their leader, which is pretty much against everything international law. Very horrible, both domestically and internationally by MAGA. That's why our slogan is F MAGA. That's how we like to end every show. And so I am going to end the show. Maybe we'll be back later this evening. Like and subscribe. Call. I guess nobody's going to call today. Call next time. And have a great day, Baltimore. And we will talk to you all later.
Big Rooster.